Thanks for staying with us. Now, Positive Media Day is the day to be inspired and uplifted throughout your news feed and the mainstream media. There's too much good happening, not enough recognition of that good. Now, if we can propel positivity into mainstream media just for one day, we can change the status quo and begin to shift our global sentiments. Now, let's not surrender ourselves to how things are. Let's create the world we want to live in. One day of overwhelming positivity and inspiration is the jumpstart we need. Now, share a positive post today if you haven't done so yet to make the world more positive. And I think I did one this morning even without knowing that today was Positive Day. You know, the one about the body where she was talking about embracing.
You're still chastising people now.
No, I didn't chastise. I'm just saying
love your body,
love yourself. Like,
that's
don't
not
be
news.
Eh?
That's not news. Yeah, you're motivating them. You are telling them what to do.
So what news did you share today? Positive news?
I always share positive news. But today, so what I want to say about this Positive Media Day is that for the sake of our own mental health, especially those who are active on social media, it would be nice for you to curate your own timeline. And what I mean by curate your own timeline is mind who you follow, the kind of content they share, and just make sure that your space is safe for you in terms of looking at things that make you happy, things that inform you, things that are in line with your career, you know.
Your vision
when
and your
you
goals.
Want to know what is happening in Nigeria, you know where to go to. We don't need to tell you where to go to. It doesn't have to come on your feed. So
every day,
at the time you're getting ready to go, you have configured your mindset to getting ready to go and see whether it's a good news or bad news. But I will encourage people to just curate their timeline.
I did a long time ago.
People who make them happy, people who inspire them, people who make them laugh. We have a lot of Instagram comedians.
Yeah,
now.
I did that a long time ago.
Just create positive media for yourself.
Absolutely. I unfollowed
your own
many
space,
people.
you know,
Yeah.
and I think that would
I just had to unfollow some people so that I could.
At least you've not unfollowed me, so it's okay.
Not yet.
Wow. Hey,
Who's
okay.
Well, I mean, I think Elsie has hit the nail on the head. Protect your space. Everybody is a pseudo-journalist in some way or the other. And, you know, who is your regulator? So you're likely to come across things that are not properly censored or things that just, can affect your mental state. So when you get to choose positively. And in truth, I mean, the media is so diverse now with all the new mediums that we have that you can actually tune out quite a bit. So in seeking positivity, you know, if you want to stick with, you know, your profession, if you want to stick with educational, literally between so many platforms. I mean, there's Medium, there's blogs, there's all sorts of different media that's available today. So the choice, you're spoiled for choice.
Yeah.
So it's up to you to guard your space jealously.
Absolutely.
You know?
Okay, so quickly, what did you find for us, Uti, in the news?
So my headline reads, Nigerian government establishes 4 universities in Ogun, Jigawa, and others. And it says here the president has approved a takeoff grant of 4 billion naira each for the universities of technology and 5 billion each for the universities of health science from the funding resources of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, that's the TET Fund. Now, these universities, the 4 new institutions are built to be in Jigawa, Akwa Ibom, Osun, and Bauchi states. And then while 4 other existing technology universities are also to be upgraded. A National Institute of Technology is to be built in Abuja to serve the postgraduate market. Now, on the top of it, when I saw this story, I thought to myself, the rest of the government can't grind to a halt. We have numerous educational institutions, government, you know, educational institutions across the country right now that are in a dire state. What is for me, the logic behind building new universities in a few places? What could this money do if it was used to renovate certain, you know, more schools rather than trying to build schools from scratch? Because of course we know this is a startup fund. This 4 billion, it's not like the 4 billion is going to deliver it. This is just where we're starting. So whilst this on the top of it it sounds, you know, it's laudable and, you know, great that the government is doing something in the education sector, but we need to be able to stretch our funds better. So might we look to improving what we have rather than trying to build the new, knowing that, we already
But
have
Uti, I think, so I'm just thinking top of my head, would it not be cheaper to actually build some universities from scratch? I mean, considering the kind of states that some of them...
For me, it's a coverage thing. You're building 8. You have so many across the country that are already serving so many students and not doing so properly. You could stretch this money to do more across the country than just focusing on this 8. The main thing that even stood out for me, it's great because this story is like a positive story. You're trying to say the government is doing this, the manifesto, blah, blah, blah. But right now we have students being kidnapped from the universities. You can't, you got to do something about the things that matter to people. Whilst, these things are happening in the background. You can build a university. If they're coming and kidnapping kids, then who's going to go?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I get you. All right, so Elsie.
Thank you for the positive media. Yeah.
What did you find for us?
Still on positive media, President Buhari has approved the composition of the federal government team to dialogue with Twitter over the ban in Nigeria. The team, which is a very interesting team, comprises of 5 ministers, as the ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and other relevant agencies, which will be led by the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed. Now, the ministers include Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Works and Housing, Minister of States for Labor and Employment, and the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice. All of them are going to discuss.
So when I saw Minister for Works and Housing, I said they just had to put him there so that, because they know that somehow.
When I saw this story, it reminded me of Uti's submission when we were discussing Twitter ban. How did you call that topic? Is it effective or counterproductive? And how she said when an individual is looking like a joke, it makes sense. But when the entire country begins to look like a joke, then when we have more serious issues, I don't think I've ever seen a composition of these whole ministers
just for Twitter
coming together. So just for Twitter. I know Twitter is a big deal. I'm going to play it down in terms of the power it wields and all, but you understand what I mean?
But I think they just had to slip in Fashola there because they know that he has some form of goodwill.
But it's good news. It means negotiation will soon start.
That's what I'm going to say.
Sledgehammer bio. Okay, so let me say my own goodwill. I mean, good. What do you call it? Positive media. Our National Assembly is leaking.
It's leaking. Okay. Showers of blessing. Yeah.
So the National Assembly was flooded today because there was heavy.
Why are you calling this flood? This is not flood.
No.
Come to Lekki.
Are you not seeing the garden the water?
Come to Lekki and see flood, please.
You see, so there was a heavy downpour.
Just sprinkle.
There was a heavy downpour at Abuja today, and the National Assembly. As it rightly said, the headlines that the plenary was delayed because because of the water and everything. They had the leakage, started mopping the floor and all of that. So for me, when I saw this, I just laughed. I laughed really hard because...
The person who took this picture and shared it is ridiculous.
I laughed really hard because just in 2017, I think there was a budget for the renovation rather of the National Assembly. The budget was 37 million that eventually they cut it down to 27.7 billion to 27.7 billion. So to renovate it. So whether that funds now went to the renovation or it not go to the renovation, that's the part I do not know. But I know that the president actually approved that budget in 2020. He approved it in 2020.
How much did you call it again?
It was 37 billion, but it was now cut down to 27.7 billion.
You see, 27 billion you are seeing on the floor that I'm mopping like this.
So, Uti, here you go.
So I'm not even going to talk about the 27 or 37 billion because that number is still giving me a headache. But his roof is rainy season. In the interest of speed of repairing it, they should all just shave 1 million from their allowances.
Would they do that?
They should do a job and fix it. They should gift the nation their roof.
You're dreaming high.
We are trying to be positive here.
Oh, right. Okay.
I'm giving you a did you see me say anything? I didn't say anything. I just said they should contribute and gift themselves and the nation.
So you see, I don't have a problem.
It.
I don't have a problem with you saying okay, because already I was saying it, but I think it was Uti that was trying to attack me that day on our WhatsApp group when I was saying that most of these government projects are already overbloated in terms of the figures. Maybe something that would have cost, yes, I remember it was when they launched that airport, you know, maybe something that would have cost 3 billion. They already would put 30 billion there. So even if, okay, so you've collected, they've approved the 30 billion.
Why is everything in Nigeria costing billion?
You don't even get, wait now.
Wait,
at least.
Not a build house. We don't know how much cement is.
At least that 30 billion you have collected, at least even do the work. That's the one that beats my imagination. You don't even do the work.
We don't know if the 37 billion was actually assigned to them.
27,
we don't know. That's why I said, don't even go far. You are going far. How many senators do we have in this country? 1 million. Calculate it.
They will tell you 1 million is too small. It will not do the work.
And they will have a new roof.
Work. It's not a roof that is leaking.
In Nigeria, they can use 2 billion to fix roof. You don't know this country. It's like positivity said, today.
Money will flow into the economy. Please build the roof.
Okay, we are talking black tax. We are coming back. When we come back from the break, that will be our conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.